Hey everybody, I know this video's been a long time coming, but you know, I get caught up with stuff and have a hard time gathering all these things together and finding enough batteries, so to speak. So this is going to be a little video on Sony Hi8 video equipment. And we also have a MiniDV video Walkman over there, so we got a little bit of MiniDV in here as well. I'm going to start off by explaining what everything here is. I'm going to start over here on the left. This is a Kyocera Yashica Fine Movie Hi8 Camcorder. This is actually made by Sony. I believe it's a 1991 or 93 model. I can't remember which. And it is hi-fi stereo. It's Hi8. Very, very full-featured, expensive camera for the time. I actually had this one completely overhauled by Dr. Sony. These models from that time period need all new capacitors and every kind of thing, you know, from age goes wrong with them. But this one is in excellent shape, and we've got a white balance type lens cap here, so you can white balance anywhere you need to. And up top, you've got the tape controls, and under this little flap you actually have the menu, which was kind of rare for that time. Not a lot of camcorders had a built-in menu. And then the tape is accessible here on the side, and it uses Sony's flat type 8mm mechanism. This one right here, everything in there is really, really clean, and that machine works great. I actually love the design of these older models. The shape and everything, it just fits your hand really nicely, in my opinion. And moving over, we have, this is Sony's, see if I can get this thing to focus. There's up close, and okay, well, I'm not going to do any better than that, I guess. This is Sony's, which model is this? This is the GV500 video Walkman, and this one also has the antenna tuner attachment on the side, and you've got a telescoping antenna. Now, of course, this is pretty useless nowadays because of no more analog signals are being transmitted. But it's a pretty small unit, and it actually has, you can power it with a Infolithium M battery or a power adapter, and you can also put a shoulder strap on it if you wanted to. Got a headphone jack on this side, speaker, and underneath here, audio video input and output jacks, and the local area network connection, which was used for editing towards different Sony video equipment. This one has a 3-inch screen, whereas the other models have a 5-inch screen, which is considerably sharper in my opinion. But you have on top here, the tuner has the channel up and down, it has auto preset, so it'll automatically search for whatever's there. Seek and display, it has its own display for the TV channel. And then over here on the tape deck you have display, counter reset, record, and the record button, you actually have to hold record and hit its button to make it record. Slow and pause, play, rewind, stop, fast forward. You have laser link, which if you had a receiver on your television, you could send the audio and the video over wirelessly, so you wouldn't have to use a cable. And the LCD brightness and volume are also there. Now, this model here is the bigger screen playback only cousin. This is the GV700, and these have an interesting story. This is a perfect cosmetic shape, other than the fact that you notice something looks like it's been rubbed off right here. Back in the 90s and maybe early 2000s, I think it was United Airlines, it was one of the major US air carriers, actually kept some of these on board, and they had a small selection of movies on Hi8 tape, so passengers could, I guess, check out or borrow these units and have their own personal little Hi8 player for watching movies. This one plays only, and it does not have a built-in speaker. It only has a headphone jack. And these use Sony's camcorder mechanism. And turn it on here. I had trouble finding batteries for all these that actually had a charge on them. So let's see if we've got enough left in here. And play. Oh yeah, that is camcorder footage I took down at the beach a couple years ago. And can fast forward. Yeah. And these machines have a perfectly clear pause and pretty clear slow motion. And stop. I'll go ahead and turn this one off for now. Moving on over, this is the MiniDV equivalent of the Sony Video Walkman. This is a GV900. There's a D1000 as well, but it actually has a smaller screen than this one. I'm very fond of the larger screen here. But this has pretty much all the same feature set. It adds audio dub and assemble editing, and this machine uses one of Sony's MiniDV camcorder mechanisms. And just like the other units, this has the AV input and output jacks on the side along with the speaker, and it takes the Lithium M batteries or a power adapter just like the other units. And out here in front of me I have a selection of 8mm and Hi8 stuff. These are the genuine Sony 8mm tape rewinders. It's a cute little thing powered by 2 AA batteries, and it has an eject button on the side over here and a rewind button. So you just stick a tape in it, hit rewind, and it rewinds it till it's done. I've actually got 2 of these things, but they're very handy. They save wear on the machine and your tapes. And down here, when it came to Hi8 tapes, there were 2 major kinds. There were metal particle tapes, which were less expensive, and there were ME position, or metal evaporated tapes. These were more expensive to purchase, and they provided a better picture quality, better sound quality, and better archival, I guess you could say, quality, but they were also more expensive, and some people say they weren't as durable, but I've never had an issue. But I guess they're what you would call the professional tape. They have a very similar formulation on the cassette tape to MiniDV or digital tapes over the metal particle cassette. And then over here, this is a metal particle 120-minute tape. It's just a professional version from Sony. This particular one's never been opened. And we have a couple older 8mm tapes. These are also never opened. This is probably 1991, 92 Sony. This tape was $14.99 for one tape. So that is how much these things cost at one point in time, depending upon where you shopped. And we also have, this one is really old. This is probably late 80s. This is a Kodak brand 8mm. It's a 90-minute cassette tape, and it's also never been opened. But Kodak actually invented the 8mm. They had their first machine, and Sony really took it and ran with it and made it affordable, and a good idea. Made it nicer, I guess you could say. But yeah, those are some of the tapes for this equipment. And over here, this is a 1998 Sony Handycam camcorder. And this is model CCD-TRV65. And as you can see, this uses the same tape mechanism as the video Walkmans. I don't know how close my phone can focus, but yeah. Very efficient, it's very smooth. One awesome thing I liked about this particular time period for the Handycams is they had illuminated tape controls. Like when you turn this on to the VCR mode or the playback mode, your tape transport controls actually light up so you can more easily see them in the dark. And your side display here with your counter also has a backlight on it. But this one had a little 2.5-inch view screen and also had night shot. Turn this on. And I don't know why my camera isn't focusing. But yeah, that's your typical mid to late 90s, early 2000s Sony Handycam. Over here, you have the, I don't know why my phone is not wanting to automatically focus on things. Over here you had the start and stop record and your on and off or standby, the eject button here, the zoom rocker here on top, and over on the other side you had your AV in and out. Focus. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why this thing is refusing to focus. But yeah, that's your typical mid-90s, late 90s Sony camcorder. But yeah, this is my selection of the video Walkmans, and I've got the Sony rewinders, little selection of different kinds of tapes, your mid to late 90s Sony Handycam, and your early 90s Sony. Well, this is actually Yashica, but made by Sony. It's the same thing as the Sony CCD-V801, which I also have one of those put away too. But yeah, there we go.